Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. So as you can tell from the title down below, this video is my 1000 subscriber special. So I am so blessed and excited to finally have reached my goal of 1000 subscribers. Obviously I'm looking forward to this channel growing more and more, but I really want to say thank you to all of you for subscribing so far. I'm so grateful that you've taken the time to watch my channel and to subscribe and to just be here. I really hope in some way this channel has helped you so far or inspired you in some way to, create new healthy recipes or to do some exercise or to live more mindfully. I really hope this channel is helping you, and please let me know if you ever have any suggestions of videos or topics you want me to talk about, or just anything you want me to involve into my channel. I really want this channel to be beneficial to you, so please always let me know if you have any suggestions or any ideas that you would love me to incorporate into my videos. But anyway, we're gonna get straight onto the Q&A. So I set a little Ask Me Anything on Instagram, and I also posted in Facebook group. So I'm gonna grab up those questions now on my phone. So don't mind me if I'm looking at my phone, I'm just making sure I've got the questions right. Alright, so I'm gonna start off with the most basic kind of questions. One person asked me, what is my age and height? So I am 23 years old and I am 178 centimeters, which is about 5'10". That's that. Alright, so the next question I have here is, what would be a dream day on your plate? So this actually isn't too hard of a question for me because recently I've been having very similar things. So firstly, I'd say for breakfast, 100% I would have oats. If you've watched any of my what I eat in a day videos, I think in every what I eat in a day video I've had oats, because it's honestly what I have for breakfast most mornings. If I don't have oats, I'll probably have like a yogurt protein bowl or like maybe avocado toast, but I tend to have avocado toast for lunch if I was going to have it in a day. So really it's basically just oatmeal for breakfast every morning, which I love. Like honestly, there's so many different ways to have porridge. You can have like chocolate porridge, you can have peanut butter, you can have like cinnamon, blueberries. It's just so many options and I love it. I just, love it. So that would be my perfect breakfast, would be oats. At the moment, I've been loving chocolate oats with raspberries and peanut butter. It's just really good. So maybe that for breakfast. Then for a mid-morning snack, I don't always have a snack. It depends how big of a porridge I had in the morning, but maybe I'd have like a protein cookie or something. And then for lunch, I've been loving tofu scramble. I find it's just so satisfying and filling and tasty. So probably tofu scramble with some avocado toast would be my go-to for lunch. And then for dinner, I kind of like to mix it up. Now and then I'll have like a stir fry. I love a good ginger stir fry, like a Thai ginger stir fry. It's so good with tofu and veggies. But sometimes I like to have a salad for dinner. If I've had, a big breakfast and lunch, it kind of just depends on the day. But for dinner, I'd probably say like, a healthy stir fry or a salad. I love making satay salads. They're just so good. I do have a recipe on my channel somewhere. I'll try link it up here for a satay soba noodle salad. That is amazing. But even without the soba noodles, like you can add in quinoa or sweet potato or whatever as like the carb sauce, and then having that tofu and satay. It's just such a winning combo, especially with fresh mint. So that would probably be a perfect day on my plate. And then for dessert, at the moment I've been having yogurt mixed with protein powder and cocoa powder, which is really, really good. So that's probably what I'd have for dessert. Or otherwise like some kind of chocolatey cake. I love chocolate. So maybe that. So that would be a perfect day on my plate. Thanks for the question. Alright, so now for a rather interesting question. It is, if you had to lose one of your senses, what would it be and why? This is a really hard one because I definitely wouldn't want to lose my sense of taste because, that's just like, I love food, so I couldn't lose that. I wouldn't want to lose like this touching sensation because I feel like you'd be just so lost without touch. I wouldn't want to lose hearing either, or I feel like it's between sight and smell. They're the two ones I could probably give up. But I feel like smell is so important in food because the way things smell really influences the way you taste it. So I feel like maybe I'd have to give up vision. I feel like, you know, vision, you can imagine what things would look like. So I think that's the one I'd want to give up if I had to give up one, because I know that I can replicate, you know, what's happening in my mind. I can create the images in my brain. Whereas with all the other senses, you can't really create it in your brain so much. So yeah, I think I would lose vision, and that's why. All right, so someone said, what Instagram influencer do you aspire to be? I don't particularly aspire to be exactly like any one person. I want to be myself, I want to be unique. But there are definitely some influencers that I love and I admire, and I draw things from them and take inspiration from them. So some of them would be, one, Claire Michelle. Her Instagram handle is Plantable Soul. I've been following her for a few years now. I'd say like almost 4 years. Or maybe even more than 4 years, I don't know. It's been a while. And I actually met her in Byron Bay a year ago, and she helped me to like take the step with starting my YouTube channel. So yeah, I really love her. I feel like she's a great influence. She's just really connected with herself, and she's very spiritual, and I just really enjoy reading her content and seeing her content. So Claire Michelle. Then someone like Elsa's Wholesome Life. She's been a big inspiration for me. She is a dietitian. She has a few cookbooks of her own. She's plant-based. She's into fitness. She has a little baby boy who's super cute, and a dog, and yeah, just her whole lifestyle. And she has her own business as well, which is really inspirational for me because I also want to start my own business. So yeah, she's a definitely big influence in my life in terms of Instagram influencers. Another one I really like is Tess Begg. She really helped change my perception of beauty. I used to, you know, as most of society, you know, see all these models, they're super stick thin, you think that's what beauty is. But Tess, she's a very more muscular build, more into fitness and having a balanced, wholesome life. And so she really helped change my perception of beauty, and yeah, I found her really inspirational, and she also has a lot of really great vegan recipes that I love to look at as well. So I guess those three are some really big inspirations for me personally in my life. I've been following all of them for, I don't know. I mean, Elsa's Wholesome Life, I think I've only been following her for like a year or so, but the other ones I've been following for like 3 or 4 years. So they've been really good, positive influences, and yeah, I don't aspire to be any one of them, but I definitely draw things from them, and I draw inspiration and yeah, inspiration from them. So I guess that's my answer to your question. So someone asked me, would you make a book with recipes? I love your videos and would definitely buy it. Thank you so much. That is so nice of you to say. I actually have really wanted to create an ebook for a while now. It's been on my to-do list for probably a year now. Basically, since I started my YouTube channel, I thought it would be a cool idea to create an ebook with my recipes. And I definitely want to do that, and that is a goal of mine in 2021. I really want to release an ebook. I don't think it's going to be a massive ebook. I think I'll just start small and have something like 25 to 50 recipes, and then maybe one day down the track I might actually come out with a proper cookbook. But yes, I am planning on creating an ebook. Hopefully it will be out sometime next year. So that's exciting. Thank you so much for saying that. It's actually like prompted me to now, I'm gonna make a plan to get it done. So thank you for that question. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. I forgot to say my perfect day on a plate would have coffee in it, but I guess that's not on a plate, it's in a mug. Anyway, here are some more questions. So what we have here, okay. What is your number one advice for someone who isn't vegan but considering making the transition? My number one piece of advice would be to not be too harsh on yourself. I mean, personally, I did go vegan overnight, which not many people will really do. But I think a lot of people, you know, they try to go vegan and then they do something wrong and they slip up, and then they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna stop being vegan and stop trying. Whereas I feel like you can just make small, gradual substitutions from your diet. So say, for example, you eat meat, you have dairy, you have eggs, you have cheese, or you have everything, you know, why don't you just change one thing at a time? Like, you don't have to be vegan all the time. You don't have to be 100% perfect vegan. Like, no one's perfect. And I guess getting the message across that you don't have to be perfect and you don't have to be so harsh on yourself, I think is a really, really big one, because, you know, for some people it's not feasible for them to even be fully vegan. Like, they don't have the access or they don't have the education, but just making small changes can actually have a really big impact. So say, for example, every day you're having dairy milk in your coffee. Why don't you just buy some almond milk or soy milk or whatever type of milk, oat milk is really good, and start having that in your coffee in the morning. And that's just one thing that you can do to slightly alter your diet to be a bit more plant-based. And, you know, just take it one step at a time. Don't be too harsh on yourself. You don't have to go vegan overnight. I think that's the biggest one. And, you know, there's gonna be some vegans out there that, you know, say you have to be perfect and you have to be fully vegan and will get really nitpicky on every single little ingredient that might not be vegan. But what I think is best is to just be open-minded, to try new things, and to slowly make some substitutions in your diet that are going to be sustainable for you and that you actually enjoy and you're going to stick with. Because the worst thing I see is when someone, you know, goes so strict vegan overnight and then they go a few weeks later, they're like, oh no, I'm not doing this, and just give up. Because yeah, then you're just back to square one. Whereas if you just make small little changes and you don't have to be perfect, you don't have to be fully vegan, I mean, I think that's the best way to go. So sorry that was a really long-winded answer, but I just personally feel like there's a lot of hate within the vegan community, and I never want to be like that. Like, if, you know, I'm super inclusive of everyone. Like, my family aren't vegan and I don't hate on them for not being vegan. I obviously want them to try my vegan food and I want them to, you know, experiment with being more plant-based, but it's totally up to them. They're on their own journey and they have to make those decisions for themselves. And only once they get to that stage when they are ready for it, will they, you know, become more plant-based or become vegan. So yeah, everyone's on their own journey. Don't be too harsh with yourself or too harsh with others, because I think it's best when people are encouraging of others and helpful and friendly, whereas, you know, a lot of people are a bit too harsh and critical. So I would just say, don't be too harsh on yourself or harsh on others, because then you're gonna probably get more long-lasting results. All right, someone asked me, what has been the most difficult thing for you to deal with since going vegan? I mean, that's an interesting one. I feel like, I don't think there's one particular thing that's been the most difficult. Like food, you know, probably going to people's places when they're cooking dinner for me and they're not vegan and they have no idea what veganism really is. That's difficult. Like, you know, I went vegan probably over 4.5 years ago now. And back when I first went vegan, it definitely wasn't as popular as it is now. So there wasn't as much, you know, widespread education of what being vegan meant. I actually remember I was over in Europe on holiday and I was in France and I went to a cafe and I ordered a salad and I said, please make it vegan, no meat, no dairy, no eggs. And it came and it literally had prawns and a mayonnaise dressing and an egg on it. And they were like, yes, that's vegan. I was like, no, it's not. So yeah, things like that. I mean, I feel like it hasn't really happened to me in the last 2 years at all, because everyone's so much more well educated on what veganism is. But that was an issue in the beginning a little bit, because sometimes I'd end up going hungry because there wasn't the right options for me. But as I said, nowadays that's really not so much of an issue, especially in Australia. Like pretty much every single cafe you go to will have at least 2 vegan options, if not 1. So there's pretty much always something for me to eat now. And to be honest, I don't eat out as much as I used to. I like to cook at home, so yeah, it's pretty chill nowadays. But I guess in the past, like, yeah, finding a vegan option, or just that, you know, people weren't educated enough on what veganism is, that was probably the biggest issue in the beginning. But again, it wasn't really that much of an issue. Like, I would just go home and eat something after if I was still hungry. So yeah, that's that one. All right, someone said, my question for you is, if you could only eat one meal every day for the rest of your life, what would it be? oats. I think that oats are just, okay, but protein oats. So I'd add protein in there because you need some protein. Because oats are just so good. I mean, you can cook them in so many different ways. Like, to be honest, if I had to have like normal oats every day, maybe I would get sick of them. But you know, you can like make oatmeal cookies. You can make baked oats. You can make like an oat smoothie or something. I don't know, like there's just so many things. If there was one ingredient, I would say oats. But I do also love sweet potato, and I do love tofu, and I do love satay. So maybe like some kind of like satay tofu dish would also be good. But I think if I had to say one, it would definitely be porridge, oatmeal, oats, whatever you want to call it. That would be my number one. All right, someone also asked me what made me go vegan. So for me, it was my first year of university. I was at college on campus, and the reason why I went vegan was because it was meat-free May, and there were all these signs up around the college, and I remember reading one of them that talked about the environmental impacts of mass production of meat. And I was so stunned because I just did not realize that that was an issue, and I did not realize that not eating meat, you are reducing pollution, water use, and all those things. So it kind of opened my eyes to what veganism was. I actually didn't really know much about veganism before that. The only ever mention I'd heard of veganism was that Ellen DeGeneres was vegan. I remember that. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, she doesn't eat cheese, what? But yeah, so that's all I knew about veganism. Then I saw all these posters around and people were talking about veganism. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a go just for May. Like, I thought it was just gonna be a 4-week thing that I was gonna be vegan. But I was actually at college at the time, as I mentioned, and the vegan options there were pretty good. And to be honest, throughout my childhood, I was never a massive fan of meat. So I was really picky with meat. Like, I would never eat meat when it was on the bone. I would never eat meat if there was like any sighting of blood in it. And yeah, so when I was having the vegan options, I was actually way more preferring my meals and really enjoying my meals a lot more than the meat versions. So when I was at college, I was like, well, I'm just gonna keep being vegan because I'm actually enjoying this food better. It's better for the environment. I mean, no animals are getting killed, so that's kind of how I went vegan. It was initially overnight, but at the time when I went vegan, I didn't realize I would be staying vegan. So yeah, that was my kind of transition. And yeah, I found it really easy because I've never been a massive fan of cheese either. Like, I never put cheese on my pasta. Even like, I never really buy vegan cheese because I just don't end up using it all. But I do have milk, obviously, in my coffees. I have almond milk or oat milk or soy milk. So that was, I guess, a big change from what I was having previously. And yeah, I just cut out the meat. So it wasn't too hard for me, honestly. I have had a few stints here and there where I have eaten a couple of eggs over the past 4 years. So yeah, I would say that's the only thing that I ever have missed being on a vegan diet. But I do have tofu scramble, and that really hits the spot for me. So, you know, as you've probably seen in my What I Eat in a Day videos, I've been recently loving tofu scramble. And yeah, I guess occasionally I would crave eggs, but that's literally like the only thing that I've ever craved that's not vegan throughout this whole 4.5 year period of being vegan. So yeah, that's that. I think I'm just gonna do one more question because my camera is about to die. So let me just find one more question. All right, so the last question I'm gonna answer is, what is your favorite animal and why? So I have 2 favorite animals, and well, actually 3. I have 3 favorite animals, and I really struggle to choose one out of them, but they are butterflies, dolphins, and cats. So obviously I have my 2 cats, they're over there, Mocha and Chai, who I adore, and they're just the most gorgeous creatures, and I love them so much. They're literally like my babies. Like, I literally call them like Bubba and baby all the time, and like I literally hold them like a baby and rock them sometimes. So yeah, I love them a lot. But then also dolphins, I don't know why, I feel a real affinity to dolphins. Actually, dolphins I used to always say was my favorite animal when I was growing up, and I do really still love them, but I also love butterflies and cats now. So yeah, I kind of have 3, I can't really choose. Butterflies I love because, I don't know, I just feel like a sense of calmness whenever I see a butterfly. Like, it just makes me feel happy, and I think they're so beautiful, and I think I kind of I think if I had a spirit animal, it would be a butterfly because, yeah, I don't know why. I feel like I'm just, yeah, that would be my spirit animal if I had to choose one myself. But yeah, I do love dolphins and cats as well. So I'm really sorry, I can't choose one, but there are 3. Alright, so that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know me a bit better and learning some new little fun facts about me. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments down below and I'll be sure to answer them just in the comment section. I'll reply to your comments. And yeah, thank you guys again so much from the bottom of my heart for subscribing to my channel and for supporting me. I really appreciate it, and I really look forward to growing more next year and creating more videos that you guys love. So please, again, let me know if you have any suggestions of videos that you want to see. I hope you guys have the best Christmas and a happy new year, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!